7. The next day, Friday, is a busy one. In the morning, I visit the hospital and give communion to some parishioners who are there, then go over to the nursing home and do the same thing. After Mass, I have meetings with 3 parishioners. The evening is taken up with a facilities committee meeting, where the discussion of painting the classroom areas takes up more time than it should have, because Glenda keeps insisting that the rooms don't need to be painted, that they were just painted 5 years ago, and we really should wait until Father Anthony comes back so he can weigh in. What she means is, one of the committee members whispers to me, is so he can agree with her. Does that happen a lot? I ask. He nods. Eventually, he always agrees with her. Saturday morning is the first time I am able to call and check on John. He's better, Chloe says. Slept most of yesterday, still asleep now. He sleeps a lot. She pauses. Thanks again for going to get him. It was the least I can do. Don't mention it. I hesitate for a moment. I want to ask you something. Sure, what is it? I take a deep breath. You and Joan were close, right? I like to think we were. You two talked about things? She doesn't answer right away. Yes, we talked about a lot of things. I decide to dive right in. Did she say anything about anyone giving her unwanted attention? Slowly, she says, I'm not sure what you're talking about. What do you mean? I tell her about the letter and the emails, the tone. I just want to know if she mentioned anything about them to you. Did she mention them to you? No, I answer. That's why I'm asking you. Why do you think she'd say something to me when she didn't mention anything to you about it? I don't know, I just thought because you were her best friend. And you were her husband, she interrupts. I don't see why. You would think she would mention them to me when she didn't say anything to you. I'm getting a little exasperated as I say, I told you, Chloe, since you were her best friend. I thought she might have said something to you when she obviously didn't feel comfortable telling me about it. Tom, Chloe says, did it occur to you that she didn't tell you because she didn't want you to know? Well, obviously she didn't want me to know. I just want to know why. No, you don't, she says, then stops herself. Why? No, Tom, I can't say anything. I promised her I would never. She's dead, Chloe. It doesn't matter now. And it might be important. How? She whispers. Because I'm beginning to think her murder wasn't random. That whoever sent those letters was responsible. After a minute, Chloe answers, that's not possible. Why? Why isn't it possible? Chloe hesitates. Because it just isn't, okay? You need to trust me on this. For heaven's sake, Chloe. Please, Tom. Don't you care about finding Joan's killer? It was a long time ago, Chloe says, her voice suddenly hard. Besides, when did you get so interested? You left town. You got on with your life. Some of us had to stay here with it. I don't respond, but hear something in the background. I'll be right there, Chloe calls. One of the kids needs me, she says. I've got to go. Chloe, but she has already hung up. I hear confessions that afternoon. Business is brisk. Apparently, people have been saving up sins. There is a line of about 4 or 5 people, all young moms, waiting when I arrive. The benefit of being new is that I haven't had time to really learn who people are, which I think helps people feel comfortable confessing to me. I have no doubt business will drop off. The confessions are pretty standard. Yelled at my children too much. Yelled at my husband. I was gossiping about her. I lusted after him. Used the F word in talking to my mother-in-law. Used the F word talking about my mother-in-law. One penitent, an older man from the sound of his voice, tells a long story about himself, his brother, and a fishing boat that apparently began 10 years before and is still a problem between them. I tell him for his penance, he needs to sell the fishing boat and give his brother half the money. Apparently, that is the wrong answer, since he leaves before I can give him absolution. I look at my watch. 3:45 p.m., 15 minutes, then I have to get ready for the 4:30 p.m. Mass. All's quiet for a few minutes. Then I hear the door on the other side close and I open the screen. I can only see a shadowy figure on the other side. Let us begin, I say, this sacrament of God's mercy in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I hear nothing from the other side of the screen. For a second I think I have made a mistake, that the door hadn't closed. Then I hear a sigh. Do you want me to hear your confession? I prompt. Still nothing. I have never experienced anything like this. Take your time, I say. I'm here when you're ready. but there is still no sound coming through the grill. Suddenly I hear movement, the door opening, and footsteps on the marble floor leading away from the box. I shake my head. I guess they changed their mind, I think. Looking at my watch, I see it is just after 4 p.m. I leave the confessional and check the penitent's side to turn the light off, when a glint catches my attention. A gold ring lays inside. I pick it up and look at the inscription. It's my wedding band, the one I left on Joan's headstone the day I left Myerton.